What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another comics flip through. Today I'm really excited for this one. It was one I was really kind of unsure how to discuss because it's kind of unique in its nature, at least in my understanding. I'm going to do some research after this video, and I definitely recommend you do as well, because this is something that I haven't seen a lot of. And I got this as a kid, and I still have the original sticker up here on it. And if you can see it at all, it is from KB Toys, for those that remember that. Originally retailing for what they had at 1998, and it ended up being $2.99, which is likely how I obtained this, as my mom was definitely all about, look what I got on sale. So, glad that I have this still, though. I'm a big Nintendo fan, so this is kind of just a special piece in my collection. It's an official Nintendo licensed product, so they obviously approved of this for their characters and references. It includes Super Mario Bros., Zelda, Captain N, for those that may remember that. That was also a animated series.
Captain N, the Game Master.
Licensing with Game Boy, you had Punch-Out and Metroid. So a lot of classic characters from the early NES days. And can we get a publication date, I wonder here? There's the back cover. Hardcover book here. And we have, let's see if we can get a release. And it's by Mallard Press, released by Valiant. 1990. So we have the copyright here in 1990. That's crazy. So it is the year 2026 when I'm doing this video, so you can only imagine how old that is. I don't want to say the number because that's depressing. But starts off with a little bit of trivia here. See if you know any of these questions. Which space bounty hunter claims to have a better efficiency rating than Samus Aran? And then, of course, the questions are down here in reverse. But if you want to take a moment, take a screenshot of these questions, maybe quiz your friends, that could be really cool. And then we start off with the backstory here of what the adventures are going to be all about. Obviously, for those that know, this is the Game Boy, and you got chocolate spilling out, dude, on your desk. Not good. And Super Mario Land, fantastic game. I actually have some shorts on the YouTube channel here of that game. Recently, actually posted too. But we start off with Game Boy, a retailer or shopkeep here. You can see his backstory and closing up shop. But as he does so, all the characters from Super Mario Land break out of the game and start to wreak havoc. Who can save them? None other than, of course, the Game Master, Captain N. So you see a lot of the classic characters from that Super Mario game. No Bowser, of course, because Super Mario Land did not feature Bowser or Koopa, depending on who you reference. And then we get into the actual story after we receive backstory, and wow, interesting reference there. And of course, taking place in New York City for this story. And honestly, this is a fun read. There's a lot of content in here that references stuff from the game, obviously, and this is not the main story either. There's other breakout stories, kind of like the Super Mario Bros. Cartoon. You guys remember that broke up into different story pieces. This will actually break apart and see other adventures from other perspectives, other people with Game Boys, and a brief ad here. I think that's a fake ad though. Yeah, it's not real. But we venture into other games as mentioned. And this is The Legend of Zelda. Of course, my favorite franchise, and it's just a short here. So like the cartoons, you would see a break in action and they'd have a short before they go back to the main story. And this jumps over now to Adventures with Link in the Zelda franchise here. And Nintendo Power, I have some of those too. I could flip through some of those for you guys. But Nintendo Power, I always love the issues that had the Link to the Past comics in them. And I actually have a complete comic of the story that was released in those. A couple years back, they put out a complete book of all those comics. And that was actually cool to go back to. But you see here Ganon and other backstories. Some stuff that I don't believe are like characters just made up lore, because it doesn't follow the game. None of this follows the game. There are things like the Power Glove, there are things like the Master Sword, the Triforce, but the game does not play like this. Of course, the damsel in distress being Zelda, but Link is just goofy, and he's often the one being saved by Zelda.
Well, excuse me, princess.
And you have quite a few stories and adventures here, as you can see. And I love that they all end with game over.
Snake, are you okay? Snake? Snake!
It's really fun. And then here we get to the main character, which follows some stuff from Kid Icarus, Metroid, Punch-Out. Obviously, you have Mother Brain here as the main villain for Captain N. You have him playing the NES for this, and he has the Zapper. And then, of course, his belt buckle is the Nintendo controller. This cartoon was really cool. Hard to find on DVD now, though. I've been searching for a while. Anytime I find it, it's either in poor condition or terribly expensive. There are some episodes available online that you could find, but having a hard copy of it would be really cool. It's a cheesy cartoon, but it's still fun nonetheless. And then, of course, we have stuff with Metroid, with Samus here, who ends up being a heroine, and Kid Icarus stuff. This cartoon is really goofy, as is the story here. Video Town.
I thought I told you to clean up your room.
That's really cool. So I don't know if these are pulled from actual episodes. I don't remember the show in detail like that. So I can't quote or say anything specifically on that, but these are fun little adventure stories. And then we have one more character towards the end here to get to. And here we go, Punch-Out now. So we get to see Mac, little Mac here, which is a great Smash Bros character if you play Smash Bros. But so his adventures going through all the different fights, working his way up. So kind of like a inspiration from Rocky, basically, kind of a rip-off there.
That's right, it stinks!
Obviously, that was really popular during that time period. But no Mike Tyson.
This is my favorite part coming up right now.
Because they ended up changing that, obviously. And that's where this all ends, is just with Mac here. And then the back here. And yeah, if you can find this, I don't know what this is even worth anymore, to be honest with you, but this is a fun read. And it's the best in the Nintendo comic system. I don't know, again, if there's single issues of this or other ones. I'm going to do some research. I recommend you do too. And if you do, please comment below what you find with some links. I would love, love, love to see what you can find. But yeah, thanks for tuning in for another video. More to come soon, and I hope you enjoyed this one. Take care, everybody.